Morning, everyone. How are you? I hope everyone's really well today. Today we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving and the holidays in general and how we can avoid that weight gain and just stay on track, okay? Because the holidays are right around the corner. My gosh, I think we're less than 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving now. And I know a lot of us are thinking about, oh, the holidays are coming. How am I going to stay on track and keep going with my weight loss goals or just even maintain where I'm at? And we all know what happens when the holidays come around and we're just surrounded by tons of food, right? So today I've got some tips for you to help you get you through the holidays, specifically Thanksgiving, since that is next. So if you come on, please say hello. I'd love to know you're here. And, a lot of times I see the numbers, like I see numbers now, but I don't see any names, so I'd love to say hi to you. And if you catch the replay, #replay. And if you have any questions too, make sure you pop it in the comments for me. So first of all, if you're in a calorie deficiency specifically, so you're cutting back on your calories because that means you're trying to lose weight, right? You might want to increase your calories during the week leading up to Thanksgiving. And I'll tell you why, because this is actually going to help you to increase your metabolism, because when we cut back on our calories, it also slows our metabolism too, which is why as we go along in our weight loss journey, it gets harder and harder to lose weight as we get closer to our goal. Okay, so that week before, try to increase a little bit for that upcoming week, and that will actually allow you to eat a little more, but not result in all that extra body fat gain. Because your body is not going to be prepared for all that extra food that you're going to be eating. So it's like preparing it, getting it ready. Okay, it's like that. It's a prep week for your body. Okay, and then you could also go the other way too. You could decrease your calories for the week, which is kind of like banking your calories. So sometimes you'll bank your calories for like a social event or a holiday. So what that means is that you are actually, if you're counting your calories, or if you're counting anything, which I don't, we don't do with intuitive eating. But if you're somebody who is like, you're just really aware of how much you're eating throughout the day, how much like carb or fat or protein you're intaking, you could reduce your carbs and your fat throughout the week too. So that could help you with leading up to that holiday week. Good morning, man. How are you? Thank you for coming on. So say exactly like the week before, starting on the Thursday before Thanksgiving and leading up to Thanksgiving. So this creates that bank of calories, so you have a little extra surplus for Thanksgiving, and then that allows you to stay on track as well. And again, as long as you're eating in moderation and you're honoring that hunger and that fullness. Good morning, Christine. How are you? Thanks for popping on. So there might be something that you're maybe really looking forward to that you don't normally have, all year long. You only have it at these kind of special occasions or holidays. So, that doesn't mean that you have to have like 4 or 5 servings of it, right? Being successful through the holidays is more about eating in moderation, okay? You want to be able to have it and enjoy it in moderation. So you can enjoy all the sweets and all the treats and just all the foods, but it's about being really mindful and eating in moderation. So that means, you're going to eat when you're hungry, which we're probably all hungry because we're waiting around for that Thanksgiving meal, right? But then when you do start eating, you don't want to rush through it. It's such a meal that takes so much time to prepare that we want to be mindful of that to begin with and really enjoy it and enjoy all the food. So really slow down. Good morning, Linda. How are you? So it's just slow down when we're eating, especially these kinds of meals that take so long to prepare, and be grateful for that, right? And then really just be honoring that food that is about to nourish your body in such good ways. There's usually lots of veggies and nice protein at our Thanksgiving meals. So let's just take a moment and honor that, right? And then when we're eating, we want to eat it slowly and eat it mindfully and savor all of the flavors, especially if it's something that you don't get that often. and you only have, kind of around this time, you really want to savor it, eat it slowly, and enjoy it, not just scarf it down, right? Because that's really no fun, especially after it's taken so much time to plan and prepare. You want to give it a little bit of love back, right? So, and then it's going to make you feel good too when you eat it that way. So like I said, you can enjoy all the sweets and the treats and just all the foods, but eat it slowly and mindfully and in moderation. So, so that means like think about your serving sizes, right? As you're filling your plate. Like we have this plate and then we have all this food. So say if you're going to get your food and you have your plate, you want to just put little bits of whatever it is that you feel like you just absolutely love, you love the most. If there's something that you feel like is kind of, yeah, it's okay, I like it, but I like these things over here a lot better, have those things. Don't fill up on something that is just kind of like okay to you and not as satisfying. You want to be satisfied and eat those foods that you really love. So take those and forget about the other stuff, right? Take the stuff that you really, really enjoy, okay? And if you happen to be hosting for the holiday, try to send leftovers home with friends or family, and don't take the leftovers with you if they're trying to send them home with you if you're not hosting. And this will help just set you up for success, because then you're not left with all of these extra calories in your house, just laying around staring at you, all these extra foods that are probably higher in calories, higher in sodium, and they're not really supporting your goals, right? So I know, it's really important to enjoy, but we don't need to enjoy for a whole week, right? It's so important to enjoy that day and that moment and enjoy the people that we're with as well. But we don't have to continue it on for the entire week with the food, okay? So enjoy the day, absolutely enjoy the day, and then get back on track the next day, okay? Of course, we're going to eat foods that are not normally on our everyday menu, right? And that's okay, that's part of it. And part of it is just enjoying. Part of life is you gotta enjoy. What's life without enjoyment, right? So enjoy it and then move on, okay? So if you've hosted for any of these meals or celebrations and you still are left with all of these extras, especially the pies, things like that, then cut them into serving slices and wrap them up and put them in the freezer. And then that way, you have them for any other time that you actually feel like having a piece of pie, because it's far better for you to spread out your calories, especially those high calorie foods, over multiple days or even over weeks, than to just have it all in one day. Feel like you have to fit it all in, especially if somebody sends you home with these leftovers or with these pies, or you have your own at your house. Cut it up into small serving slices and put it in the freezer, and then there you go. Then you have it for any time that you feel like having it, and you didn't have to eat it all at once. And if you do like all of the pies that are available, instead of having a full slice of each, just take a little sliver. Like I know for myself, I love to have a taste of everything, but that's really all I need is just the taste, okay? Like a bite or two of everything, and then I'm good. But by the time I do that, it's really been like a whole slice, because I want a little bit of it all, right? Sometimes we want to enjoy all of it. And also, if there's any starting off with any appetizers or kind of foods to snack or pick on before the big main meal, try not sitting right next to them or right on top of them, because it makes it so much easier to kind of pick mindlessly. All right, and then that's all those extra added calories that we really don't need, and that all that just adds up. And try not to hang out in the kitchen either. First of all, you'll probably be in the way, and second of all, that's where you're again tending to mindlessly pick before you're having your actual meal, and that's where, like I said, all the food is hiding. So rather than setting yourself up for failure, let's set yourself up for success. So just these small little tweaks, little tips can save you a lot of calories in the end. And what's really, really important is when you're starting your day on a holiday like Thanksgiving, a good option would be to have a higher protein breakfast. You should start your day with a nice high protein breakfast, because not only is it going to keep you satiated and keep you fuller longer, and you're not going to get those blood sugar spikes, you know that you're probably going to have more carbs later in the day too, correct? So, for example, you can make yourself a nice veggie omelet in the morning, and that way you're controlling the amount of calories that you're having for the day, and then you're not so hungry, you're just completely starving when it comes to that Thanksgiving meal, okay? Especially if you're going to somebody's house, you don't want to be just filling your plate to like a mountain because you're so starving because you didn't fuel up properly during the morning hours. So let's say that you did end up overindulging, okay? It happens, it's the holiday. And what you can do is try to create a deficiency for the next few days if you want, okay? It's an option. If you're like, oh my gosh, I had 5 rolls too many or too many servings of dessert, you can just reduce your calories for the next few days after Thanksgiving or after the holiday meal, just like you did leading up to Thanksgiving, okay? If that's an option you want to take. And you could actually cut back a little bit on your carbs and your fat the next couple days, or especially if you're really being conscious and aware of what you're eating each day. And you could switch over to more foods like more fruits and veggies, a lot of the lower sodium type foods, nice whole foods, nutrient dense, going to help flush that sodium out of your system, and that's going to naturally bring down your calories for the week as well. Okay, so all is not lost when you after you go and enjoy, and of course the next day is Black Friday after Thanksgiving, right? So you want to make sure that you plan for food the next day, because people, I don't know about this year, with people being out so much, I think there's a lot more online shopping going on. But if you do happen to get out, and there's lots of people and there's rushing around and there's a lot of things happening and going on, and you're not tending to get the nutrition in that you really need because you're out and about and you're probably just grabbing something quick or grabbing fast food or not even getting a chance to eat, and then you're starving by the time you're done shopping, right? And then that's when we tend to not make the best choices. So making sure that you have planned your meals for the next couple of days too are really going to help get you back on track so that you can be successful for the holidays as you move through. Okay, and last but not least, my suggestion is please do not get on the scale. Do not get on the scale the next day, okay? After you've had a Thanksgiving meal, you are not going to want to get on that scale. I don't recommend it. Just don't do it. Because if you are weighing yourself if you're somebody who you weigh yourself on a daily basis, and you get on that scale the day after Thanksgiving when you've had higher carbs, you've had higher calories, you've had higher sodium, foods that you typically don't eat, there's a good chance that scale is going to be up like 3 to 5 pounds, maybe even 10 pounds. I mean, it can really fluctuate. So that can be so defeating for someone who actually lives and dies by the scale. Okay, so do yourself a favor and just get yourself back on track the very next day after the holiday, after the Thanksgiving meal, and make sure you're drinking enough water. Let's flush out that sodium, okay? And exercise and movement, that's going to help move things along for you too. And as long as, even if the weather's decent, you can get out and just go for a walk even after you've eaten. I host at my house for Thanksgiving, and I absolutely love and I look forward to going for a walk after the big meal. It makes me feel good. It just, not just physically, but just mentally, getting out in that fresh air is so nice. I live in New England where it's a little bit cooler this time of year, so I'm always praying for some decent weather. I will bundle up if I have to, but I just hope that it's decent enough that we can get out. And I get everybody out, the whole family. I'm like, come on, let's go. We're going for a walk. And we go for a nice walk after our meal. And by doing that, getting some movement in after your meal helps you to digest as well. Okay, so get some kind of movement in after you've eaten. And then come back. So then we'll come back and we'll have dessert. And then I'm ready for it because I'm not overly stuffed. I didn't eat past fullness to begin with. I had a nice walk, and now I'm coming back and I'm ready for dessert. Some time has passed. Now let's dive into the desserts. So, I would recommend, say, like like if you feel like you do need to get on the scale, I'd recommend you wait like 3 to 5 days before you do get back on that scale. After you've eaten from Thanksgiving, give it time for that sodium to just come out of your body, because that's all it is. It's just holding on to all that extra water weight that you've taken in. It's not like you just gained 3 to 5 pounds of fat overnight. Okay, that's not possible. And there's nothing you can do if you do jump on the scale the day after, and you know, you have to like reap the like what it says after. You know, you don't want to put that in your head and make it worse for yourself, because like I said, it's just water weight, but it's still going to mess with you mentally, and it's just going to make you feel bad. And we don't want you to feel bad, especially after you just enjoyed. You should never feel bad for enjoying, okay? Because this is a time of year to enjoy. So these are just some ways you can help manage your calories and your hunger throughout the Thanksgiving holidays. So let me know if you have any questions at all about what to do leading up, and how the heck am I gonna not go overboard, anything like that. And if you have any questions, you know, about your health and your wellness and weight goals, and you'd like to chat further about them, let me know. I'm happy to chat with you. So if there's no questions right now, I'm going to hop off, but I hope everyone has a very beautiful weekend, because yay, it's Friday. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye guys.